What's up, everybody? It's OPMG. What the fuck is going on? And I'm gonna break down the team I use for the Omega Boss Rush Challenge. Um, it was not as hard as I thought it would be. I won't be able to put Doom on the screen because currently he's active in war. But I mean, let's see. We can just sub him in with let's pick a Mystic Champ. If I had to not use Doom, I would have used Black Widow. Alright, so we'll save that. And then we'll go in and I'll break down each and every fight. This review is a little late, but this is to help anybody who hasn't finished or completed the actual event yet. So the first fight is going to be Diablo. Alright, and Diablo, there's nothing too particularly special about him. It's a basic fight. I backed out a couple of times because you have to be aware of when he gets ready to go unstoppable, because he will catch you slipping and he will mess up your combo. Now, why is that important? Well, because I used Aegon on this fight. It was a suggestion to me by one of my alliance mates, and he told me, he's like, yo, this is Aegon food. Well, so I backed out, brought in Aegon, sure enough, racked up I think about like 80 hits on it or so. After that, Captain Marvel, another Aegon ramp up champ to fight. The only thing I would suggest is her special attacks go unblockable when she's in binary, her beams, and the second special is a little complicated to evade. So I would keep her around that special 1 bar of power, but nothing here is really too difficult to manage. So that's 2 fights with Aegon. And next you have Namor. Now the thing with Namor is he has Spite right there, and he automatically has Imperious Rex, which he gains power, it drips down slowly, he can launch back-to-back specials. Alright, all that's cool, but if you really want to manage him, this is the part where I bring in a power control champ. Primarily, I use Doom for power control, and because of his resistance and armor break, and that will come up later, but that wasn't too big of an issue. But if I needed to use power control or take away somebody's buffs, I would use Doom. Other than that, you can pretty much clear him with anybody. I wouldn't say Aegon, just because of the fact that if you do get Fury buffs, it will keep his spike going, and if he catches you slip, he's a mutant champ, so he's gonna destroy you. Moving on. Squirrel Girl, this is another Aegon fight. This is a basic fight. There's nothing too special about it. Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic can be a little bit tricky because you're going to want to use your specials, and he has Spry, which if he evades, he puts like a fatigue debuff on you, and it just lowers your critical rating. Well, you don't want to waste this opportunity to build up your combo with Aegon. So this is another Aegon fight, or just a massive damage champion. I'm going through who I used, so you can take these champions and substitute accordingly. Corvus would have been fun, but these fights were extremely long, so you'd end up literally running until your glaive charge came back. And also with certain buffs, with the buffs that Corvus has, you wouldn't even get your first 2 charges until you cleared out Namor. So, and that's a long fight. Alright, so the next fight is going to be Long Shot. Listen, I've tried to evade Long Shot special 2, and it is a one-hitter quitter, straight up. So, once again, this is another fight where you need to manage and keep him with the special 1. Now, an interesting thing about him is he has, where is it? He has Limber and Pure of Heart. So, any normal buffs that you work on, he almost works like Domino. He'll turn them off, or I don't know. He does something to where your stuff doesn't work. So with him, my suggestion on beating him is keeping him under 1 bar of power, or excuse me, under 2 bars of power, and baiting out his specials. Because if he hits you with a special 2, you're done. Next, we have Annihilus. Alright, so everybody's initial reaction when fighting Annihilus is to block or activate the parry. So that's understandable. What I did, this is a fight that I used Doom for, because I was able to set up the parry, take away his unstoppable, take away his buffs, place staggers on him, just to pretty much keep him at bay. And other than that, you need a Mystic Champ, or you should use a Mystic Champ that can nullify all of his attributes. The next fight, Havoc, you already know, I bought Colossus. I didn't even want to play around. Something weird. So he has Heavy Hitter, where his heavy attacks go unblockable. If he launches his heavy and you swipe back one time, and then you charge your heavy with Colossus, he will immediately go into a block 99% of the time. And by the time Colossus swings and hits him, he'll be coming out of his unstoppable heavy hitter stage. So that can be used if you guys need a little bit of help with that. I suggest either Warlock or Colossus. Colossus is immune to armor break, so crumbling armor does not affect him, but if you don't, Warlock is a good champ too. And Colossus doesn't use any energy attacks to build up his plasma charges. Next is going to be Ronin. This is more Aegon food. There's nothing too special about that fight. And then you have Human Torch. Surprisingly, there's nothing special about him. But this also is a Aegon ramp up fight. I mean, while Human Torch is bleeding, his temperature increases. Whenever the bleed expires, he gains a smolder passive. So I wouldn't even use Aegon special 1 or 2. I would just beat him to a special 3. Let him use his specials till he has no power, and then hit him with a special 3 so he's stunned and you can get your hits off. Next is going to be Mojo. So for the Mojo fight, I used a combination of Doom and Void. I used Void and I kept him within a special 1. And I think I pretty much used. I think I had to use a couple revives in that fight. I'm trash at fighting Mojo, and I need Guardian most of the time to shut him down because you can't get buffs. It's funny, I never put 2 and 2 together, but yeah, I just found out today in one of the chats that Guardian is a Mojo Slayer. So, and then after that, Cull Obsidian. This is more Corvus food, or you can destroy him with Doom. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. Maybe your Corvus might be ramped up high enough. Then after that, over to Mysterio. He didn't have anything special either because it didn't seem special to me because I had Captain Marvel movie. And she blew him up. Like, it was super easy. Parry till you get 25 charges. After that, launch the special 2. After you launch the special 2, he'll be stunned. Heavy. Build up your charges up again. And just keep spamming the special 2 as much as you can. And this will be a quick fight. Next, Elsa. Elsa, you have to be careful because if she catches you with her evade, that will lead to a string of chain hits. And you will die. No question about it. And she has Mixmaster. So we all know with Mixmaster, you can't do the same basic attacks 2 in a row. So what I did, I pretty much just took the easy way out, came with Colossus, parry heavy, special 2. And that was a quick fight. Yeah, pretty much that one wasn't bad. Make sure you don't bleed her. The next fight is Thing. Thing was a little annoying. Thing's always annoying, especially because you can't do as much damage. Like, everybody knows how to fight Thing now. It's no secret. Hit into his block, build him up to 15 rock charges. That way he can execute a special, Turban and Furious. We all know. So the person that I used for Thing was Aegon. Because I got my crits in, I could chain combos together and back out and back off, and it's a long, slow fight anyway. So you might as well use somebody who's actually going to help you later on down the line. And no one's better than Aegon when it comes to that, helping you with fights down the line. Next, it was Black Widow Clairvoyant. I can't remember, but you can go with almost anybody. You can go with Doom. You can go with anybody but Captain Marvel. But you can go with anybody to fight her, and it's a basic fight. There's nothing too special about that. And then Arcus. Arcus was a straight Doom fight. I let him build up all his power gain buffs, and then I just took him and just kept firing off special ones over and over again. It wasn't a challenge at all. After that, Warlock. There's nothing special about Warlock. He has his empowered immunity, but I didn't care about any of that or his armor up because I used Captain Marvel movie. And when she's in binary or when you hit into his block, no matter what, he's gonna get armor breaks. So that fight was nothing. It's the same thing as fighting Mysterio. Just you probably kill him in 3 special 2s. After that, Stealth Spidey. This was a Colossus clap fest. Once again, nothing special about him. Parry heavy, done. Invisible Woman, I straight up use Aegon. I use Aegon, got a bleed off on her, and just build up my combo. She's like Thing 2, she's weird to fight, but it's the same thing. You know, once that invisible, and it wasn't like she was stun immune, so she didn't have anything that was too special. So I didn't need to do anything big. And then with Aegon, as long as you don't, as long as you don't bleed her, mattresses won't activate, and if you can play the intercept game, you don't have to worry about mattresses at all anyway. Next was Ebony Maw. So Ebony Maw was annoying. I used Aegon and I used Void for this one. I remember specifically it was pretty, I don't know, the degens come out of nowhere. And this Ebony Maw is a little bit different. Like, he does attack more. So getting in a corner with him is kind of annoying because everything he has is easy to evade, but sometimes I just get into a rhythm and then I hit him too much and then he'll launch a special 2. And I've only like successfully evaded that like 5% of the time I've ever fought for a special 2. So when you fight Ebony Maw, you should just probably be prepared to heal up, maybe revive a couple times just because he's annoying like that. Terrax was nothing. He didn't bother me at all. I used Captain Marvel movie because all of the actual the rocks that fly around him, they're energy damage. So fighting him built up her binary charges extremely quick, and a couple specials and he was done. And then I rolled over to Gilly 2099, and with her I used Captain Marvel again. Couple specials, probably about 3, and she was done, cleared out the match. Sunspot, I used Colossus just in case he got hits off on me. I didn't want to get incinerated. I still don't really understand Sunspot because I haven't got him. But it was either going to be Colossus or it was going to be Void. And after that, Nick Fury, that was a Colossus fight. Just straight clapped him. He didn't have anything special on his either. I just fought him patient. How I fight Nick Fury is I actually beat him all the way down. I try to always only let him use his special 2 because it's easy to evade. But once I knock him out of the first phase of his life model decoy, I will hold my special 2 with Colossus and dance until his degen goes all the way down. And as soon as it gets to the 30%, that's when I'll go in for the kill and try to clap him with a special 2 and just wipe him off. So you're not sitting there building up his tactical charges because you're constantly hitting into him. Next was ManThing. Alright, so for ManThing, I used Void and I ran a lot. It wasn't that bad because like it wasn't a bad fight like I thought it was. I just had to reverse all the stuff. There's a couple times when he got low, where he would throw a special, he would start healing, but he would start degening because the reverse he was on. But it's pretty much a straight up fight. It's a long fight. I couldn't use Captain Marvel because every time he touches her, he puts damage on her. So that's how that went. I might have used Doom on that. I can't remember, especially because he has armor break. But yeah, that's how that went. Nova, straight up Doom fight. That's almost the only way I know how to fight that dude. And then Sinister was Void all day. There's nothing too outstanding about him. He has all the recovery stuff. It was cool. It wasn't that long. And then Mole Man, Colossus, Surfer, Doom, and then the final boss Doom, I used Void. I just burnt out all my champions, and then at the end of it all, I used Doom. I just went in. I didn't try to solo him or anything. I was just trying to get it over with by the time I got to the end. So, pretty much, those are the champs I used. Don't forget, Black Widow Clairvoyant is just there because Doom is in war. But those are the champs I used for the boss rush. What you can do is, if you don't have these specific champs, you can look at them and figure out what champs you could substitute that have the same immunities. And just remember, the fights will be longer. So as long as you have somebody that can control power, and yeah, we didn't have any. Yeah, pretty much as long as you get somebody that can control power, you can go. We can walk through this whole map. I might make a B team, but right now this was my A team. I took every fight with all these champs. There wasn't any roadblocks or any booby traps or anything weird that I couldn't get to. So overall, that was it. That was the boss rush for me. So if you have any questions or there's a specific team you want to see me use, leave it down in the comments. And once I do the B team tutorial, if I do the B team tutorial, I'll make sure I take that into suggestion. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I hope that OPMG's tutorial helped you out or helped you see what I used to get past the OPMG.